Okay, welcome to Appaloosa Week.
Woo!
This is Luna. She's a 15-year-old Appaloosa mare, and Appaloosas actually have a pretty long history with this continent, with this country. They were actually first noticed and bred by the Nez Perce Indians. They were the ones who, they bred them, they protected them, they loved them so much that they would even, like in winter, they would check on their horses before they even checked on their wives and families and kids and stuff, because they wanted to make sure the horses were okay. They rarely sold them, they rarely traded them. They were like family members. They were very important. Now, when the United States started to get going and it was becoming a thing, they had a lot of problems with the Native Americans that already lived here. The Nez Perce Indians were no different. The U.S. Army in 1877 decided that they didn't want them living in the lands that they were living in, which was Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, the Great Northwest. So they asked the chief at the time, Chief Joseph, says, look, we got great places for you to live. We got reservations for you to live. He said, no, I like the place I'm living now. So he decided to take his tribe, his wives, his kids, his entire tribe. There was about 2,000 people. And he said, nope, we're going to head for Canada, which was about 1,700 miles away from where they were at the time. So in about 2 weeks' time, they took their horses, they took their families, everything, and they tried to escape to Canada. They came so close. They were 40 miles from the border, which would have given them freedom. But that's when the cavalry caught up with them. Sadly, the cavalry took all the horses and they bred them with other horses. And so eventually, the Appaloosa was actually starting to die out. There weren't very many of them. About 1940 or so, a fellow named George Hatley noticed them and said he's got to do something about that. He wants to make them so they're a lot more, he wants to protect them. So he started the Appaloosa Horse Club, which actually still exists today. He bred them, he made them popular, and today there's about 150,000 of them registered with the Appaloosa Horse Club. And there's hardly any of them are living wild. There's some wild ones in the herds, but mostly they're owned by people. Now this one, let's see if I can get her to show off for you. Well, Appaloosas are mostly known for their coat pattern. This coat pattern is known as leopard, white with the black spots. But there's also other coat patterns. Some of them are all black except for white all over their hips. Some of them are brown with white over the hips, and that's called a blanket pattern. And this horse, Luna, like I said, she's 15 years old. She's actually had 3 foals, but that was before I bought her, so she's been a mama 3 times. And besides their coat pattern, they're also known for a number of other things. You notice they have all these like freckles, like mottling on their nose. You're known for that. They have whites around their eyes. A lot of horses, their eyes are all brown, but Appaloosas and some paints have whites around the eyes. And show me your hooves. They got striped hooves. Good. Let's see the other one. There you go. They got striped hooves. And those are some of the signs of an Appaloosa that describes of their breeding. Also, you notice her mane is very short. Her mane and tail are not full, long ones. They will never grow any longer because that's another sign of the older Appaloosa horses, the more purebreds. Some of the ones that have been crossed with like thoroughbreds and quarter horses, they'll have longer ones. Okay, let's see if we can get Luna. You guys want to see her run? Yeah. You guys want to see her? Okay, girl. I'm going to put you to work. Run. Just run. That's called a canter. To me. Okay, Luna. So you might have already learned about the trot. It's a 2-beat gait. Okay, good girl. All right, so we're going to see a couple of the things that she can do. Come on, go. Okay, back. 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 Good girl. And spin. Good girl. Yeah, and she'll follow me. Now, she's never done this with an audience before, so we'll see what happens. She'll follow me between these cones. Yeah, close enough, huh? Appaloosas are known mostly for their Western pursuits. They're reining and Western pleasure, Western classes, but they can jump and hunt and do some English riding as well. Have you guys already learned the difference between English and Western? Okay, some of you have, some not yet. So they're mostly used for Western classes, but English as well. What else was I going to say about her? And I totally went blank.
And that's okay.
Did you guys have any questions about Appaloosas or about her or about horses in general? No. See, I did such a good job. You guys are all full up of knowledge now.
Yeah, that was awesome. I learned a lot.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to come up and pet her, you can. Oh, wait. I gotta get her to smile for you guys.
There it is. I love it. She is.
You had her about 4 years. Yeah, and she's lived here since I've had her. So yeah, if you guys want to come up and pet her, you can. She loves people. Come here. Of course, now she's a liar.
Because there's a lot of little children.
Yeah, come here, go. Over here. Yeah, come on, baby. All right, I'll have to ride her.
That was awesome.
Yeah, she's a pretty good girl. Now, she's really mellow, but Appaloosas sometimes have a reputation for being kind of crazy in the head. I've known some that are, but this one's pretty good.
She's beautiful.
I've actually ridden her up to the dairy fairs occasionally to get an ice cream.
Oh, how funny. I would love to do that.
Abby went with me once.
Really?
Yeah.
I've gone through McDonald's drive-thrus, but not around here. Yeah, it's kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Smile one more time. Probably not, 'cause she doesn't like an audience. Smile.
She's shy. Stage fright.
No.
No smile.
Show your feet. Step. Good girl.
Isn't that cool, guys?
Good girl. Good girl. Nice job.
So notice how well Luna responds to her body movement. She doesn't even have a halter, a lead rope.
Now the riding without saddle or bridle, that's great, but I don't recommend it for out here, just in an arena. I wouldn't even do it out there because well, it's a horse. Anything can happen.
What? I missed it. No. Ah, just a little bit. Bummer. Yeah.
Missed what? Any of you guys have horses already, or are you still dreaming? I dreamed for a very, very long time before I got my ponies.
Yeah.
One of my friends said I could have it, and my mom allowed me to do it even for it's free.